Hi, yeah, welcome to Sneaking Geeky. First things first, I've got a few new subscribers, and we haven't done a video for ages and ages because work's been a bit on top. I've not really had anywhere near enough time to do what I was trying to do. So, I'm going to go through quite a few things on this video, and if you are new to subscribing, then hello. I'd also like at this point to give a big shout out to Nick, British Legion 1, for the shout he gave me, which resulted in quite a few new subscribers a couple of weeks ago now. You've all obviously jumped on board and I've done absolutely nothing, which is a bit slack. So we'll get through some stuff here. Now obviously I'm using an iPhone to record this, the focusing is rubbish, so it's going to feel like you've had one too many at times, I think, because it's going to be hazing in and out of focus. It's going to be like a Saturday night around Manchester for most of you. So we'll have a look at how far we get in now then. If you've been following along, I've just started out getting some Flames of War stuff and painting all these kind of 15mm figures up for the first time. Started off with an SS Panzer Grenadier company, which I'm working my way through. I've only still managed to paint around about half of them, based even less of them to be honest. But I'm just going to go through a couple of things that I've been doing in terms of like how I paint them up basically, and then we'll start with these guys here. Just basically on a strip, just black coated. Now I'm actually using, which I think is amazing stuff, it's the best stuff I've ever come across really, it's a Vallejo surface primer. You can get it in different colours and stuff. I'm using the black for the characters, and for most stuff it comes in like the usual 17mm Vallejo pot, so you can get a lot bigger ones. It's absolutely brilliant to be honest. It auto levels, it says, which is probably the best thing I've ever heard paint do ever, is auto leveling paint, and it just gives a really like smooth consistency. You can apply it directly with an airbrush, or you can just dab it on with a brush if you want. I've mixture of both really, because I've buggered my airbrush up, which I'll a bit more about later. But yeah, so that's that, and then basically I've been going on and doing these guys in strips of 6 on here, doing like 24 at a time maybe, which gets a bit bland, painting in all the same bits, but that's where we're going with these guys at the moment. So that's them surfaced up. The ones I've got based up so far, not many, and this is where the focus is going to go a bit crazy I think. These little dudes. So I'm going for kind of an autumn period, hence the kind of orange bush, which is a little bit too orange for me, but I quite like it for the bringing out the difference. So I'm going for a Normandy, so just a little bit of general. There's some, well, it's army paint of wilderness tufts on there, a couple of bits of gravel, and just some general clump foliage of different kinds. I think they look quite cool to be honest. It's not perfect, I'm not putting myself forward as the best painter in the world, but I don't think they look too bad. It's generally beginning to look the part, I think. I'll show you the stuff I've been using for the actual base shortly. This is just one that's in progress, not got the tufts on or anything, only kind of hold it the right way around. Rude to have the back to you. Yeah, it's kind of the gravelly base, which is, if you just excuse a shake for a second, I thought this stuff would be quite cool. See, Battlefield's Battleground, sorry, from Army Painter. Now actually, I'm going to open this with one hand, so you can imagine this is now going to end up all over the carpet, and this is going to be the living daylights out later. But it's like a very fine, powdery stuff. It's about £4 a pot, so you get loads in it. Actually, I thought it'd save me, and in the blurb it just say, you know, you don't need to paint it because it's the right colour already. I found that I don't really like it as a colour when you put it on the base, so I've been kind of putting a brown umber wash over the top of it, and then dry brushing on, I think, flat earth followed by dark mud followed by a bit of khaki just to bring it out. I saw that kind of tip somewhere else on the YouTube as well. Focus has gone wild. So that's the men as they're coming along at the moment. We're getting on with that. Tanks, a bit behind with my tanks to be honest. I painted up my Stugs and didn't like them, and I just didn't like the camo pattern. It just looked a bit ham-fisted, so I actually stripped it off this particular little fella. I've not done the other one yet, but I used a technique. I found various websites and stuff, basically just dropping it into a tub of 50% Dettol, 50% water, left it in for like 36 hours, and it comes off. It's I mean, this tank was probably had a couple of coats, plus the camo, plus a flat varnish on top as well, and it strips it right down to the undercoat with the help of a toothbrush. Now it's not perfect, you can still see some bits and bobs there, but I'll certainly get away with it for the sake of it. I just had another spray over the top actually of another primer just to kind of, but it did, I mean it smells a bit of Dettol, and not as much as it did. Dettol's not my favourite smell in the world. Give it a good wash, good rinse and everything, but I think it's not bad really for sticking it into Dettol. I think it came off pretty well, and it even left basically the undercoat on there as well. So what else we've been up to? These tiles you can see here, it's just a piece of 1 foot square MDF purchased off. I'm doing a table, like I said, a Normandy table, and at the moment I'm planning on going for about 16 square feet modular. Now I've built terrain before, I've built terrain for 6mm stuff. I'm not doing anything quite to this scale, so I've certainly never done anything as 1 foot modular ones. So what we're doing at the moment, we've got all these little tiles here. We've undercoated them in just a black acrylic. That's just a black acrylic. That's just for first coat, and the second coat I've put on, you can see, like a dark, a burnt umber, which is also another, just a £2 bottle from Blue Smith's burnt umber, just wash, 50% wash, and it gives it like, I don't like to paint things like completely brown, because I think when you put the grass underneath, I like the fact that you get the different colours, so you can probably see on the camera a bit of brown, a bit of black, and that'll come through really nicely when I put the static grass and whatever over the top. Also here as well, been getting some bits and bobs from eBay, try to do it on the cheap as much as possible. I like the Battlefield in the box stuff, but it is expensive what it is. I forgot to bring my roads in here, but I'll bring that in a sec. I've been working with the guy on eBay to produce some roads for me. I'll just go get them now. Just bear with me a second, just pause this. And we're back again. Yeah, I've been looking around for a suitable road solution. I was going to make my own, but I can't really be bothered doing that. I came across a guy on eBay called Fat Frank, who is a top bloke, to be honest. I said I wanted some roads that's not really like what he was doing. I wanted something a bit more muddy track for kind of a rural village. And he went away and he came back with this sort of thing, like I said, extra tyre marks and stuff in there. He's put lots of tracks in there for me. As you can see, he's not a fab job. I mean, this is just a piece of rubber, I presume, with a bit of, basically, probably filler, caulk type stuff, and then nicely dry brushed over. Now, I'll give him a bit of credit as well, because it took him about 4 weeks to get these to me, bless me, because he, the first lot he sent got returned in the post. The package was all damaged and everything, and he refunded my money and he did them again for me for nothing. So I really can't complain. So I am going back to him for the rest of my roads, and I want to get my curves and my junctions and stuff from him as well. I mean, basically, I think they probably cost me about £7 for those 4 pieces, which he paid me back anyway for cocking it up. But it's about £7 for 4 pieces. Now, it might not be up to the massively production standard Battlefield in the box, but that's £25 a piece or whatever. So this is going to more than do what I need with a bit of nature being put around them as well. So it'll look good. That'll look the part. So that's my roads. That's Fat Frank on eBay. I've got no affiliation to these guys, and anything I show you on here, just showing you what I'm buying at the moment. Got some stuff from Wayland Games as well, a couple of paintbrush and stuff this morning. This only came this morning. This is something else as well, which I'll show you. This is I think it's a Battlefront product. It's like it's a broken wall for freebasing. Basically, you can't really get brilliant focus on that, but it's really, really detailed and really good. And you're obviously it's going to fall off and break in a minute, and you're just going to have to paint that up and stick it on my bases and look nice. Now, you get 4 pieces, and I think it's cost me about £3.50, £4, so it's ludicrously expensive, and I probably won't be buying it again, to be honest. But it'll look quite nice, I think, on a base little corner. I'll paint it up nicely. See, it's come off my hand, which will screw up my undercoating. Fantastic news. Other stuff I'm looking at doing as well. Obviously, doing Normandy, so we do need some bocage. I looked to start doing my own stuff for this, and decided that no, I don't think so, to be honest. No, maybe not really. And this is a guy, I'm just going to try and get this into focus because it is really cool stuff. He sells samples for £4 for this. I think it's cost me £4, but he does an entire set of like just over a metre for 35. You find him on eBay, and like, this is like great stuff. This is exactly what I was looking for, really, in terms of the bocage. It's not entirely what you're looking at because it's blurred to living daylights, but you can see it's like really nicely highlighted and everything. And you read the guy's blurb on eBay, and he's recently out of work and stuff, and he's just doing this as a sideline business to keep him ticking over. And full marks for him really is. I'm really happy with that, to be honest. So if you see him knocking around on eBay, give him a shout, because that's going to look pretty cool round everywhere I need it to go. So it's what dudes in there. it's pretty good stuff. The scale's pretty good. Next to it and everything. It's pretty much what we need for that. Final some bits and bobs. Obviously buildings first. I've looked long and hard at the different buildings. Again, Battlefield on the box and stuff. I've come across Kerr and King here in the UK, and thought I'll give them a go around the usual stuff. And this is like it's 2 buildings. This cost me 15 quid plus 3 quid post back into 18 quid in general. And the detail levels on this are just like absolutely phenomenal, absolutely brilliant. You can probably see that because it's actually stayed in focus. You've got like various things like for painting purposes, this floor will come out, and then in here you may or may not be able to pick him out, but there's a grenadier just kind of dead centre now, dead German grenadier in the rubble to paint out. Probably there's a machine gun in there, but I've not really found it yet. I mean, this is just like brilliant, absolutely spot on. Does need a little bit of work, but very happy with that. The floor comes out as well. It's a bit fiddly. It doesn't really need to be like that. I don't think there must be a better solution than that. But if you put your oops, I've got a break in the building floor, you can see the floorboard in detail. But in terms of a base, indigo, then one on the top. It's really good now. But there is a problem with this. Don't get me wrong. It's great, and I will buy other stuff from Kerr and King. But the problem for me, and I think it's a bit nasty really, is that the roof piece here doesn't stay on. Just stay on. Call me a liar here. No, we'll see. Look, can I be able to doing that at all? Really? It's a real shame. There is a sweet spot to get it. There you go. But it's not right. And realistically, whether because we're not really playing much of the game, I'm just kind of making the like a big diorama really. I might find some way of kind of half permanently sticking that on a little bit, you know, so just pop it a little bit. I don't really want to use a lump of blue tack, but will if need be. But yeah, I mean, I really do like that. It's kerrandking.co.uk, great stuff. And like I say, I will be using them again. It's not like anything I felt. It's like a plastic resin. Apparently, it doesn't even need any washing or anything. If I have a look at that, I mean, that's awesome. Absolutely awesome. I mean, all that's going to happen is I'm going to ruin it with some hand-fisted paint job. But, you know, that's pretty good stuff, really. It's 2 shops. They do a whole range, like everything. Do city in a box deals where you get like 5-6 buildings for like 45 quid, that kind of thing. Various places, northern France, like mid-France, Russia, they're doing oriental buildings now. If you see samurai and stuff like that, which I am. Really genuinely good stuff. And like I say, kerrandking.co.uk. That's just a great building, and I have a lot of fun with that and the other stuff when I get them. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you need subscribers, sorry about the rambling, sorry about the delay in all the vids and stuff, and we'll see you very soon hopefully, and we'll be coming back and we'll show you like some more painting and stuff that we're doing. Hope you enjoy what you're seeing, and sub, and also comment away, and we'll see you soon. Take care, good dude. See you later, bye bye.